Good evening, everyone. What's up? Ate a satisfying meal and topped it off with amazing desserts. Mr. Hot speaking. Previously, there was a live stream. Tonight is the top 3 best TV shows video. These are the top 3 best TV shows ever to make TV. Note that this is just an opinion. If one doesn't like these shows, well, that's them. Alright, let's begin. By the way, sorry for how poorly done the top 5 worst TV shows and the top 5 worst YouTube channels went, but let's begin. Number 3 best TV show ever, Jeopardy! Jeopardy has changed over the few years. Jeopardy is probably among the most interesting TV show ever. That is because there are so many random questions asked. Like there's an infinite number of topics that exist that can be put on Jeopardy, and there's only like 10 topics that make it to Jeopardy with 5 questions apiece. And then all the contestants who are chosen for Jeopardy are really knowledgeable, so they barely ever get the answer wrong. They actually do pretty well. And there's all kinds of Jeopardy. There's Celebrity Jeopardy, there's Teacher Jeopardy, the Teacher Tournament, and there's the Tournament of Champions. There's a lot to Jeopardy than just Jeopardy. The Teen Tournament and the Child Jeopardy suck, but the rest of Jeopardy is pretty cool. And Alex Trebek looks really good for his age. At 74, he actually looks better than most men in this country. But they do ask a wide variety of topics, like any geography topic, any history topic, any spelling, any puzzle, any like novelists, even any sitcoms, movies. They ask it all. And it's cool that the final question has nothing to do with any of those topics, and that there's some people that never get the answer right. There's some games where all 3 contestants guess correctly, but there's times where none of the contestants guess correctly at all. So it's pretty cool. It shows the knowledge around the world and how much knowledge there is. Knowledge is infinite, and this is a living example of how it is. Number 2, Survivor. Survivor has lasted for 30 seasons and is still doing well. Survivor chooses like the best of the best, most interesting contestants for the TV show. It's no wonder why the show is doing really well. They choose a lot of attractive women, and they choose a lot of fit people. And it's interesting to see who will go home tonight and the way the game is played. It's cool to see all the players do their challenges, and it's cool to see what they do between challenge and immunities. It's also interesting to see how alliances are formed and what they do when they're struggling and what kind of reward they could win. It's also interesting to see who will win immunity, who will be voted out tonight. There's so many questions in Survivor in some seasons, like what kind of moves is this person capable of making? And like, why did the person get voted out early? There are just so many questions that are answerable too. And when they're answerable, they make sense. And all the moves make sense in Survivor. People do something for a reason. And it's interesting why. Survivor is all about politics and strategy. That's what it's about. And some players are just so interesting that it makes one want to actually be with them for a long time. I mean, there are players that are just so cool that they're different than most people. They're drastically different from people that they would see in school. And number 1 best TV shows ever are documentaries. Documentaries are so well done that the wording is right, the organization is right, the footage, the intro, the topic sentences, the body paragraphs, the conclusion, the questions. they all make sense, and they're well done. They're well written. They use the right wording. And it's interesting to see what will happen after the documentary. If people are going to change or not, or what's the fate of the world after that? It's an interesting question. And they enable one to learn even more in Jeopardy. So much more facts can be retained from one document than a single game, than a week of Jeopardy, because they dive deep enough to one topic to make somebody actually more interested. Like what can this animal do, or like what's the person doing? How did he like do this or that? There's an infinite number of questions, and there's a lot to it. So those are the top 3 best TV shows ever: Jeopardy, Survivor, and documentaries. So if nobody likes this list, that's cool. It's their opinion. But with that, that's all there is to say for this video. See one in the next video. Next video will be a Cartoon Network rant. Good night.